Okay, guys, where's the light at? Where's the light at? I am mad, as you can tell by the title of what just happened to me. So here we go, story time. My first story time. I always have a lot of stories to tell, so this will probably be the first of many. Okay, where do I even begin? Where do I even begin? Okay, I'm gonna try to look at you guys instead of look here. Ollie, he's such a big baby. Where is it at? There he is. Anyways, guys, yes, the worst thing ever just happened to me today. So let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. Last night, around, I'll say about like 5 o'clock, I get home. I eat my dinner and then I go to walk the dogs like I do every single day. So, you know, usually when I walk the dogs, I have to get their doggy bags, my headphones, my keys, my cell phone, you know, all that good stuff. So when I take them out, I'm just prepared for everything. So I remember like grabbing everything and like sticking everything in my pockets, and I specifically remember sticking my keys in my pockets because my pants were so tight and my pockets were so tight that I just remember being like, oh, like putting my keys in my pockets. Okay, so yeah. So then where's the better lighting? Her bed looks a mess, but yeah. So then I take the dogs out, I do on their walk, and my apartment building, you can't get into the building without a key. So you need a key for the apartment building, and then you need a key for your actual room. So I get back to the building, I go in my pockets to grab my keys, nowhere to be found. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm thinking I had to have dropped them, or I never even brought them. Because you know how you'll do something every single day, and if you start trying to think back on that, it starts to jumble up, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm remembering putting my keys in my pocket, but I'm thinking, could that have been from last week? Could that have been from yesterday? You know, so I'm like, you know what? I think I just didn't bring them. So I literally sat out there for like 30 minutes waiting for someone to come or leave my apartment building, and they didn't. So I'm actually above a tattoo shop, and I was like, do you guys have access to our apartment through your tattoo shop? And he was like, yeah. So he like watched the dogs outside for me. And then, oh my neck, oh my neck, oh my neck. So yeah, he watched the dogs outside for me while I went and went up to my apartment. Yes, I left my apartment unlocked. That's how I got into my apartment, which is bad, but in this case, it was kind of good. So I look everywhere in my apartment, no keys to be found. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I had to have left my keys in the park. So I go back to the park and I literally look for hours, guys, like just walking through the grass, like slowly walking through the grass, looking like step by step, you know, could not find them anywhere. And I'm just like freaking out. So like I call my mom. I'm like, Mom, I lost my keys, what's the next steps? I'm trying to be calm, you know, I lost my keys, what's the next step? And she's like, you need to call insurance and then get a new key made. So I'm like, this better not be expensive. I end up calling Geico. Sorry, there's like stuff that was bothering me. I end up calling Geico, and they tell me it's gonna be $175, and I'm already like, damn, like that's a lot for a key. So I was like, fine, like send them out, whatever. So I call back my mom and I tell her, and she's like, oh, Tori, I think you can find it cheaper. You should call around. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I call Geico, I cancel them coming out, and then I start calling around to other different all the locksmiths I'm calling. First off, rude. Everybody that answers, it's like, hello, what do you need? Estimate, whatever. They're just rude. So I'm already annoyed by that. And so I called a bunch, and I was just trying to get an estimate, and they were like, well, if you just leave your number, the technician will call you and they'll be able to give you an estimate. So I did that to a couple places, and then I found one that gave me like the best estimate. They said they start at $120. So I was like, cool, I'm gonna go with you. So I said, yes, please come out and see me. Hang up. Next thing I know, I'm getting calls out. I'm getting calls, all these unknown numbers calling me. I'm answering, and they all sound the same. They all have the same accent. Hello, Tori? They all sounded exactly like that. So just imagine going back to, like, I had one number calling me, hello, Tori, and then another number called me, and I didn't know which one was the one that I signed up with, you know. I didn't know which one was the one that I told to come out. That makes any sense whatsoever. So they're like, hello, I'm on my way. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I have another one, hello, why'd you hang up on me? And I'm just like, I don't know who you are. Like, it was, I was getting really flustered, and this one guy was making me mad. He's like, why'd you hang up on me? You just, you know. And I was like, sir, I called a bunch of you guys, and all of you guys are calling me back at once. I don't know who's who. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. So yeah, I was just like, I'm going with this guy. Then the Geico, whoever the insurance originally had me with, called me. They were like, oh, I see you canceled it. Why? And I'm just like, because I found a cheaper price. And he was like, how much they say? And I'm like, 120. And he just starts cracking up. He's like, no, 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 no. When they get there, they're going to tell you something completely different. And I was like, well, I'm going to take my chances with that, okay? So then that's out of the way. Finally, the guy that I actually called shows up, right? Ooh, I think you saw something. You might have saw something. So he shows up, right? And he's looking at my car. And out of nowhere, he's like, that's going to be $240. And I was like, I was looking around me because I thought he was talking to somebody else. I was like, it couldn't be me because all I need is a key. He ain't talking to me. But he was talking to me. And I was like, oh no, I'm not doing that, boy. Bye. You know, Beyonce, boy, bye. And he was like, well, how much do you have? Because I want to help you. And I was like, I have 120. What can you do with it? I got 120. And he's like, hold on one second. Let me check. Calls, speaks in another language, gets off, and he's like, sorry, it has to be 240 because this is not a secure area. So, and I was like, looking around, I'm like, there's no cars in sight. I'm on a street parking because I live in Philadelphia. And I'm looking around, I'm like, so your life's in danger? He's like, yes. And I'm like, oh, okay. Bye. And then he's just kind of lingering, and he's like, where are you from? I'm like, oh no, we're not doing this. For $120, I'll tell you where I'm from. Anything more than that, I'm leaving. So yeah, he left. I was just annoyed. I went back to the park. It's pitch black, like 9 o'clock. I have my little flashlight and my taser. Girls, take your taser when it's late at night. And I have my dogs. And I looked again, couldn't find them anywhere. So I was just like, man, let me just go to sleep. In the morning, I'll go back out and look. So the morning comes. I get up all early. I'm like, ah. Alright, and then I had to really yawn. Whew. You know when you do that, when you fake yawn, you end up really yawning. Anyways, I wake up in the morning. I'm like, let me go take the dogs out and go look one more time. I walk out my apartment building and my jaw dropped. I was in shock. I could not believe my car was freaking gone, guys. You don't understand how mad I was. So my first instinct, I was like, call the cops. So I called the cops. I reported it stolen. After I got off the phone with them, I just started bawling my eyes out because I was just so mad and I was upset because it was like my fault, but then this person had to be an asshole and be disgusting and take something that wasn't theirs, something that I worked hard for. Oh, it's still so fresh, as you can see. I'm just angry. I'm just so angry that it had to be a person like this to find my keys. An asshole, a bum. I could just go on and on. So yeah, so then the police came. I filed the report. I gave them all the information. And pretty much now it's like a waiting game. Like, so he was like, hopefully they just took a joyride and left it somewhere. But it's kind of like, what if they're long gone by now? Like, I don't know. I'm just annoyed. I'm frustrated. First off, I use my car for work. I literally have to travel every week to different parts of the city, so that's annoying. And then luckily I have insurance. I'm fully covered, so if anything comes back, I have my insurance, plus I have who I have my loan through, Navy Federal Credit Union. They'll pick up the balance, called Gap Insurance. If you don't have it, I recommend you do get it. I didn't even know I had it. I would had to call. But pretty much what Gap Insurance is, if I have it through the credit union where I got my loan for the car, and so whatever insurance doesn't pay, Navy Federal will pick up the difference. So if I did not have Gap Insurance and say they found my car and it was totally messed up and it was $3,000 to get fixed, and my insurance was like, we're only gonna pay $1,000, then I would be responsible for the other $2,000 out of pocket. But since I have gap insurance, maybe Federal Credit will pick up that $2,000. If I'm wrong in what I just said, let me know, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. So yeah guys, that was my day, and I was just really upset. I had to call out of work because I was just too distraught to go. I am distraught though. Like, I do have like a lingering just kind of like funk in me, and my mom was like, you feel violated. And I do, I feel violated. Someone stole, this was your first car, like I brought on my own. So she's like, of course you're gonna feel like just kind of sad and just anxious. And plus my house keys were on the keychain, so they have access to my house. That's why I'm at my sister's house. So it's just a lot. I'm just upset. I was just saying a couple days ago how happy I was to live in Philly, and I loved the area I was in. Now I have to deal with this. But yeah, I try to think positively though, because it's just material things, and it could have been worse. I could have been, I don't know, robbed for my car and beat up. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot worse things going on in the world than my car being stolen. It still sucks, but I'm really fortunate. My sister letting me use her car for when I need to work and stuff. You know, it could be way worse. So I am going to be positive and you know, just try to hope it pops up, and if not, then I'm fully covered and I'll go get another car if worse comes to worse. But yeah, I just thought I would share that because it's crazy. Because who gets their car stolen? Like, it just doesn't even sound right. Yeah, I got my car stolen. No, I never thought in my life I'd be like, I got my car stolen. Like, when I walked out this morning, I was like, this is not real life. This is not real life. Because yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that was it. All about my car being stolen. So I'll see you guys next week on... So yeah, that was all about me getting my car stolen. So I'll see you guys later. My next video will probably be on these braces. Can you see them? Oh, that's a strawberry right there.